man.
Yo.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Need you to give me video access.
Yeah. All right, you should be good.
Okay.
Whoa, you are up close and personal.
Yeah, different than the camera. Might be able to change it. That should be a little bit better. Okay. Ready.
All right, ready?
In the group.
Say it again.
Broadcast is in the group.
Yeah. Actually,
Are we waiting for?
I'm aliving it to the group.
Are we waiting for the Swedes?
I don't know. I didn't see
Okay.
any messages from them.
Okay, no worries. Now, guys, if you're just popping on, please say hello to us.
As of now, it's just you and I. Oh,
Yeah,
we
no
got
worries.
one.
We got a live one.
Hello. Excuse my eating. This is my lunch. What's up? Wanted to offer you guys perspective and value today. So if you guys just say hi to us right now, just let us know who you are, where you're from. If you have any specific questions, now would be a great time to post them.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we can actually speak to what's important to you at the moment. Otherwise, we can just rant.
And I don't think you came here for the rant. Yeah, guys, you can use the comment box below just to say hi to everybody, and we'll take care of you the best we can.
Yeah. All right, cool. Is there anything you had specifically in mind you wanted to chat about today?
No, I think let's give them a general overview and kind of our vision and why they might be here. And obviously, they've all signed up for a specific reason. I'm just putting on my headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we'll go from there.
All right, why don't you fire us off, and then I'll come in after.
I want to just change my headphone settings here super quick. Can you just say hello something?
Hello.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So welcome if you're here. And like we said, if you have any questions at all, we'll manage the comment box. So, I mean, the first question to all you guys is like, why are you here? You know, why did you get in this group? Why did you register to find out more about, perhaps drastically changing the way you live your life, the quality of your life, the freedom in your life? If any of that speaks to you, you can either say, yes, that's what I'm here for. Or if you have some other other reason that brought you here, then let us know as well. My name is Guy, and other side over there is my brother Elon. Specifically for this partnership, we are we operating like 3 companies right now, I would say.
Yeah.
With our own. Right. So behind Elon's head, you'll see it says Satori Prime and Have It All. That's our company, and what our company does is we facilitate personal and spiritual transformation all over the world. However, we have been in the online marketing game for about 6 years, and we've also taught internet marketing for about 5 of those. We used to have a lot of our own internet marketing products in the Facebook space and the entrepreneurial space, also in the what's really important to us and syncs to us is the mindset, personal and spiritual development space, as I mentioned before. And Six Figure Mentors is one of the companies that we work with. And we've actually been working with them, I think about 4.5 years as mentors. We train the entire organization. I believe it's about 2,500 people globally in really all aspects from, again, entrepreneurship to online marketing to the personal development space and the mindset game. And we really think that last part is what differentiates people who do massively well to those who are just kind of dipping their toes in the water. And I think one of the first things you'll find that if you choose to get yourself on an entrepreneurial journey is that it's really about your own growth. And that's what actually I believe makes entrepreneurship, especially in the modern day, super exciting, is that you get to grow as your company grows. In fact, you might even find that your company's growth is completely predicated on your own growth, and that's what's exciting. So while we can't guarantee, it would be A, illegal, and B, I think it's stupid to guarantee anybody a time frame in which they can, completely change their lives and how much money they're going to make and all the other stuff that most people ask in the beginning. We can't guarantee any of that stuff because, hey, we don't know you. We don't know what you're capable of. We don't know what experience you're coming in with, the amount of education you have, if any, the level of capital, your experience in entrepreneurialism or sales. And if you're just starting out, that's fine. That's exactly what Six Figure Mentors facilitates, is really kind of like a ground up development of the mindset that's required here. We definitely do not believe in push button systems, but we do believe in systems that support you. And I could say kind of like done with you systems or done for you, at least to a certain respect. There's no system out there that you can push 3 buttons is going to do all the heavy lifting and labor for you, or that is not going to require some kind of investment of time and money on your part. And if you think that exists, or if that's what you're looking for, then we are definitely not the right company for you. If you think that exists, I'm sorry to tell you that you're probably going to get swindled, or you're going to have your heart broken quite a few times. There's not a single business on the planet that I can think of that would operate for free, or that would operate without some kind of investment of capital and time on your part. And ultimately with the online marketing stuff, the massive advantages is that if you have really one of these, you can hotspot it, and a laptop like what we're talking on, I'm sure what you're watching this on, is that you can operate a business today, and not only operate it could be automated in many, many ways. Because truly the one thing that's crucially important for anybody looking to get into an online business space is to be part of a company that's well established, that has a track record, and that also has a significant back end that can put a substantial amount of wealth in your pocket. Because the truth is, for anybody to be successful with this company, with any company, something that you're going to have to master as a skill is 3 things: is the copywriting for creating ads online, is creating ads online, and then is just optimizing that advertising, doing the tracking work that's required so that you're not just generating leads, which is the lifeblood of any business, but you're also you're capturing quality leads of people who are interested specifically in the services that you have. We say that the people who are interested in these kind of opportunities, while you may think that it's just about the money for you, ultimately, we like to look at what does the money provide, and what the money provides you and your life is freedom. And I think that's really what people sign up for when they want to be entrepreneurs. Now, look, if you guys, kind of look at what your options are out there as far as becoming an entrepreneur, it's kind of like joining this online marketing space, which is for many parts still a lot, like more or less in its infancy. You might feel like you're kind of jumping on the wagon a little bit late. The truth is, there's only a few million people on the planet out of a few 7 billion people on the planet who are really in this space at all. And there's even a smaller minority of people who are doing it really well. Yeah. And for those of us who are doing it well, it's because we've understood a few things about leverage and automation and stuff like that ultimately gives us our time back. So if you look at like the traditional workspace, the 9 to 5, which I imagine most of you people are, even if you are to get a raise or a promotion or anything like that, honestly, people talk about the 40-hour work week. When I talk to people who are in the traditional space, it's rare that anybody's working 40 hours anymore. It's 50, 60, 70, 80. They might not even be getting paid more to work that time, but they're putting in that time to hopefully get paid more. And then they get some kind of promotion, which ups their wages. And then they end up working 80, 90, or 100 hours a week. So you're exchanging even more time for money. And it's like, great, your bank account is growing, but are you really enjoying your life at all when you can take 2 weeks of vacation a year, and you really can't invest that money in anything that produces a higher quality of life? So I think with the online model in general, one of the things we see is that, whether you're making $50,000, $60,000 a year, whether you're making $100,000 or even $1 million a year, the fact that you are in control of your time is just probably the most beautiful thing. And I know that even well before Elon and I were making any kind of consistent income with the online market, I felt free. I felt retired immediately. I wasn't waking up to an alarm clock. I never had to ask for time off, stuff like that. And I was passionate about what we're doing. And I think that's a keystone thing here, is that whatever you're working on, you're going to do it relentlessly if you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
So if you're passionate about freedom, if you're passionate about travel, if you're passionate about helping people, we are all three, and many more things. It's what made us be relentless in our pursuit of developing a company, and now multiple companies, that give us that time freedom. So for example, like I'm in British Columbia right now traveling. I usually live in San Diego. I travel back and forth between there and New York quite often because Elon and my family's out in New York. Actually, our parents just moved down to Florida. So I'm in British Columbia for a week. This Friday, I leave for Indonesia. I go to Bali for about 3 weeks. Elon and I were just in Colombia together. I was in Costa Rica before that. I have a trip planned in August to Europe, back to New York, probably back down to Colombia. And all of that is done on a whim and with the flexibility of this business, also knowing that I don't have to be at the desk of my business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think on average now, this wasn't like this in the beginning, but now I probably put in about 4 hours of quality work per day. And then the rest of it is really at my leisure, whether or not I want to continue working because that's what I want to do that day, or I can go outside and spend time at the beach or travel, whatever. Again, I'm not making these promises like, hey, this is a guarantee, and it's absolutely what's available. And that was what was important to Elon and I. Elon joined the online space with me about 6 months after I got started. He has a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, a boy and a girl. And Elon has been home, or minus like any travel he's done. He's been home to watch his kids grow every single day of their lives. I don't really know that many people that can say that they've been there for every single day of their lives. And that was well before we were making good money online. But he had that flexibility. And I would say that that's a side effect and a payoff of this industry, of this kind of business model that, again, is like, that's priceless. I don't give a shit if you're making $20,000 a year. That's a priceless experience that most people don't get to have in this modern time. So there's a lot of these beautiful trade-offs, and it's really up to you, like how you want to work it and how expeditiously you want to get results. There are a lot of great systems out there. There are. And you kind of have to look within yourself and ask yourself, like, which one of these feels good to me? More than trying to establish like, is a scammy and nah. Like I could tell you in the last, I want to say 14 months. And again, not a reflection of what anybody else could do, because our results have nothing to do with the results that you can get. Just like if I lose weight and get a 6-pack, that has nothing to do with the effect on your health or whether you're going to be, a fit human being. I can't work out for you, just like I can't build a business for you. However, in the last 14 months, we've been able to do about $1.2 million with the Six-Figure Mentor system. And the reason I'm telling you that is not from an egotistical, I want to glow place. It's the point is that if one person can do it, anybody can do it. We came into it with the knowing of exactly the kind of life that we wanted to create and what that took and what that journey was going to look like. While I may have had some ideas in my head about what I wanted to look like, entrepreneurship is not a linear path. It looks more like, it's like
squiggles.
It's like organized chaos in a way. And there are certain challenges that came about not because the system wasn't there to support us, because for us personally, and because of our programming and how we grew up in conversations around money and what it takes to be successful, is it easy, is it hard, all that kind of stuff, all that stuff is going to rise to the surface for you to deal with in your own personal development. And there are going to be opportunities for you to transform that. And those transformations are going to have a direct impact on the quality of how you show up to your business every day, your personal confidence, and all of that. So I think that the most correlated thing that I can tell you that has alluded to our growth in this industry is our personal growth. And I think that's really exciting, because what I can guarantee you is, regardless of whether you make money with Six-Figure Mentors or not, by virtue of you being part of an organization and a community like Six-Figure Mentors, I can guarantee you will transform your life. It will impact your relationships. It will impact your health. It will impact how you feel about waking up every single day and in your own self-confidence. It'll impact every area of life, which I would say part of that side effect is going to be an increase of wealth and well-being as well. And I say that because there is a conversation. So I'll just rewind super quick. If you guys know Eleanor Roosevelt, one of my favorite quotes of hers is that small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. And within our organization, there's an opportunity to start communicating about really big and high-end ideas around people like Elon and myself, who are people who've been around the personal development space for 14 years. Elon and I personally have coached well over 10,000 people, multiple tens of thousands of people probably at this point in time. And you get immediate access to people who are living their life in a completely different paradigm than what most people are normally used to or relegated to, because you might be in some small town where you know everybody and there's a certain conversation that's happening there, and maybe you want to transform your life and the people around you are like scared of that, or that it would be a threat to them if you transform their life. And this is one of the beautiful things about having online communities where you can access a different type of conversation from anywhere in the world and be part of a community that's truly up to something. And because of that, because you can just dive in and connect into our community, you're immediately going to get connected to these conversations, these kind of people, and this kind of network that allows you to immediately be like, whoa, this is unbelievable. I'm getting to have and listen to conversations that I've never had access to. That's giving me access to new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new actions to take. And that's the kind of stuff that leads to much bigger results that ultimately do lead to a life of freedom and access and just increasing your overall quality of life. So, whether your goal is to supplement your income, whether your goal is to replace your income, I think that's a great goal, or whether your goal is to just be a multimillionaire, whether your goal is to serve people, whether your goal is to learn how to market online and do sales, which, by the way, is not the sexiest thing in the world. What's sexy about it is what it gives access to. And what it gives access to is for you to use what you're passionate about or leverage what you're passionate about, what you love communicating about, and have the skills and tools necessary to then go share that with other people. That's why the sign behind Elon's head is so important to Elon and I, because after mastering these skills, we created a company that's aligned with our passion, which is a company that wants to create a big movement in the personal development space for the transformation of our planet. And that's what Elon and I are like defiantly passionate about. Like, we will do that till the day that we die, and we continuously do a lot of work on ourselves. So I just want to give you perspective on that, because one thing that it's given us access to is experiences that we get to have all over the world in the developmental and spiritual spaces. I want to say, like, this year alone, Elon and I will probably have put about $250,000 to $300,000 into our personal education. Okay. So our number one biggest expense as entrepreneurs is our marketing. And our second one is to our personal growth. And I would actually like it to even switch, where we put more into our personal growth than we do into our expenses. So if I'm telling you that, because again, I want to show you where we put our importance in terms of what it takes to grow the kind of company that we want to be, the type of people that we want to be, the type of leaders that we want to be. We heavily invest in ourselves. And if there's one thing that I would offer you as well, is invest in yourself. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that an organization like this allows you to do. It allows you to put yourself back into an educational facility that opens up new experiences that most people just don't have access to. And that changes their lives. So we don't know exactly what the journey looks like for you, right? And that's something you have to kind of determine for yourself. We're here to kind of establish a parameter and a mindset, not even an expectation, but a mindset about what it takes to come into a company like this and succeed. If you think you're going to come into this organization and then if you don't get results in the first 30 days, like this is a scam, this is not for you. It's just not for you. Like, you don't go to college and dive into your first university course and whatever it is that you wanted to study or master and go in the first 30 days, like, I don't know how to fucking be a doctor. And then you opt out because you're like, this college is a scam, And I think a lot of people walk into it with these like false expectations of like, I'm going to push 3 buttons, everything's going to be done for me. And it doesn't quite operate that way. The system will take over. You don't have to do anything with sales in our system. You don't have to pick up a phone and call anybody with our system. Like, all that is done for you. You don't have to explain the system to anybody. You don't have to explain what the product line is to anybody. Nothing like that. However, the more you master communication, the better your communication will not just be as a business owner, but the people in your life. That's why I know that your relationships will get impacted, right? And then it's all these different areas that start popping up as opportunities to transform your life. I personally think that's the most exciting part. So whether you come in here as just you're a regular member and you want to come here for an education, or you want to travel the world with this company and have incredible experiences in places like, they went to Bali, right? Last year?
Yeah.
Last year they went to Bali. They were in Mexico. I think it was Miami. We were in Playa del Carmen. There's something else in between there that I'm forgetting. Some beautiful island somewhere.
Costa Rica?
No, they went to the Dominican Republic before that.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you want to travel to London, Toronto, and other places where they hold live training events, like all that's available. And, I think the higher you invest into the company is the more you're investing in yourself and saying, like, this is my home. This is what I'm about. However long it takes for me to master these skills and create freedom in my life, I'm committing to that. I don't know if that's 1 year for you, 2 years, 3 years from now, but if in 2020 we're sitting on a webinar and you jump on the webinar and you're like, holy shit, guys, 3 years ago and May of 2017, I was sitting on a webinar, I was struggling with my life, my health was shit, my relationships weren't good. Here I am 3 years later, I have automated business, my relationships are great, I'm traveling the world, whatever. If it took 3 years for you to develop and create that life, I think that's minimal in the amount of time that, one would take to transform your life. If I was like, okay, show me how you would do that in the traditional workspace, that you're going to create that kind of lifestyle in 3 years, not possible for most people. Not even close to possible for most people. But you're going to work harder, going to put in more time, going to travel less, see your family less, and create that lifestyle. So it's like the options for most people are limited. And most people look at going to school as access to something. But guys, I live in America. College, as far as I'm concerned, Elon and I can speak to it too, and for the entrepreneurial mindset, is probably one of the biggest wastes of time and money of my entire life. I don't necessarily regret going to college, but there's a reason college is not preparing people for that life. I don't know about you, but investing $200,000, $250,000 for 4 years and then coming out and getting a job that gives you $40,000 or $50,000 a year is not exactly a great return on your investment, And then it's like the goal for most people is, oh, I hope one day I'll be a six-figure earner. For as long as I can remember, like that's been the conversation in America. Like you're a six-figure earner, like, oh, bravo. It's like, really? 20 years later, and that's still what we're shooting for is like a six-figure earner. Like I want you to be a multiple six-figure earner or a millionaire. I want you to have access to that. And even if that is not your goals, so what? If you were to replace your income, and let's say today you're making $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 a year, and you could replace that income online, the quality of your life with that same income would be here in comparison to here. Because you don't have to ask for time off. You can take vacations whenever you want. You can scale your business if you want to or not. Maybe that's a big enough business for you and that's all you require. That would 100% change your life. So it's like, setting the proper expectations and creating a context that mastery of a skill is more important than how much money is going to be in my bank account 30 to 60 days from now, or this doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the crucial thing, that if you're going to join this company, and I have zero attachment to whether you guys join today or not. This is about the real talk. If you notice, I'm not a good salesperson at all. I'm here to inspire you and motivate you. And if something feels good, I'm showing you that there's a pathway for you to get to where you want to get to. Elon and I started probably in the same exact place where you are. We started during the height, by the way, of the recession, of the Great Recession in America I started in January of 2011. Things could not have been worse at that time. I had $400 in the bank at that time. It cost $397 to start in an organization like this. So I had $3 left after I started. I had barely any idea what I signed up for, but something inside of me told me that I needed mentorship. And that was crucial for where I wanted to go. I knew that I wanted to coach people. I knew that I wanted to serve people. Those were really important to me. And I knew that I had no clue how to do that by walking down Main Street and shaking hands. And that for the impact that I wanted to make, I knew that that wasn't going to accomplish that anyway. So I got into an organization like this, in a community like this, that could mentor me and that could guide me and that allowed me to be part of conversations for what does it look like to communicate an idea to the rest of the world that wants to hear what I have to share, that I can impact them. Yeah. And today, Elon and I get to do that on a daily basis. Literally, I cannot even remember the last time that sitting and doing something like this occurred like work to me. I don't earn a living because it's our human right to live. I don't need to fucking earn it. I wake up and I'm in it. And there's something really beautiful about just having your life purpose aligned with the way that you make money, the way that money comes into you. And that happens because the more valuable you become and the more value you give other people, the more monetary exchange you get to have with them. And that's why Elon and I invest so heavily in our personal education every year, because we know as we increase our value, it's perfectly aligned with the number that shows up in our bank account later on. And I'm telling you right now that our number one goal is not how much money is in our bank account, it's how much can we serve and how much value can we give. And for those people who are effortlessly earning money in whatever it is that they're up to and how they're being and what they're doing, that's what they understand that principle. So it's like, you have to look for yourself, how am I going to increase my personal value to people in society as a whole? Because all these fucking jobs that are here right now are going bye-bye quickly. Like robots are going to take over everything. So as far as I can look, when I look down into the future, like 3, 4, 5 years from now, and I think to myself, like, what's going to be the value exchange between people? Ideas is the only value exchange that's going to matter, because everything else is going to be taken care of. We're not going to need anything in manufacturing. We're not going to need anything in the service industry anymore. All that will be taken care of, which means you're going to have a lot of time to invest in yourself and your education. So if you're standing here right now and you're like, oh, this kind of sounds good, but, you know, like not the right time, you know, I'm too scared or whatever worries that you might have about it. And you're like, you know, I'll start later on, you know, and that's what Elon and I call a one day, someday conversation. Like one day, someday I'll do that. We had a mentor when we were in our early 20s. They used to say, I wake up on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm super clear. If I wake up on a Sunday, a whole lot of great shit is going to happen all over the world. He goes, but I've never woken up on a Sunday. So, you know, like whether you guys choose to start this now or 3 years from now, you could already be 3 years down that path. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a multi-gazillionaire at that point in time, but you'll be 3 years further down that path of mastery. And I guarantee that will give you access to some new shit in your life. Or 3 years from now, you'd be like, damn, I should have started that 3 years ago. Okay, I'll get started now. And again, you guys have to look for yourself and what you believe about what's coming in our future. That's what I see. So, you know, again, if this feels like an access point for you to start creating a new way of living, a new way of thinking, a new type of relationships, new ways of communicating. If that's what you're looking for, you're here to transform your life, this is a no-brainer. I guarantee you will absolutely love this experience. If you are looking for a company that's going to promise you 3 clicks of a button, and then somehow magically money just falls into your lap, into your bank account, it's oozing out of your eyeballs and other orifices in your body, you don't know how it even got there, great, buy that pipe dream, fantastic, choose that experience. Not what we're offering here. I'm not even interested in working with you if that's your mindset, because I know you're going to be here. You're going to be, for lack of a better word, a whiny little bitch, and we're going to basically hand you back your money and be like, off on your way. And we're not interested in that. We're doing great with or without you. So just so you know, like as far as the roles we play in the company, we train the company weekly. So if if I'm rubbing you the wrong way and you fucking hate me, great. If I'm rubbing you the right way and you fucking love me, fantastic. This is how we are all the time when we're on webinars, when we're with our family, when we're with our friends. And we've been training the organization for 4.5 years. And this is what you get. You get people like Elon and I, and we're like scratching the surface of, not even scratching the surface. If there was an iceberg right now, I'd be like flicking an ice cube off the top of it for what we're sharing here right now in comparison to what's really available there. So I'll shut up. If you guys have any questions, Elon, you want to have any commentary, please do.
No, I mean, that was every time that I wanted to say something, I felt like you kind of jumped in and said that thing that I was going to say anyway. So,
we're open to questions. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say we're absolutely open to any questions you guys have. The comment box in the group where you're watching this is the best place for it. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link for the application with Six Figure Mentors. So you guys have it. It's clickable right there. It's $29.95 to get started. What happens after that is one of the business coaches from the SFM will contact you directly via phone. So you're going to put in an application with us. and they're going to communicate with you about what are your goals, what does that look like, and here's a blueprint of basically how to get there using and leveraging the system. And that's a really, really powerful call. So you definitely want to take that. So if you're like, okay, well, I want to gather all the information. I want everything about the company. I want to know exactly what this looks like. Honestly, if we told you all that, your head is going to fucking explode and you're going to be significantly overwhelmed. And that's why we don't do that, because we have a blueprint in the back office, like a module by module practice. And that's where you get to start going through after you put in your application. This is zero risk for you guys. If you're not willing to put $29.95, $30 to at least go check it out and start the training, and you're like, that's expensive. Why would you do that? Why? Because we want to make sure that people who are freeloaders, tire kickers, information junkies that never take any action actually don't join the company. That's why we have a well-vetted organization of amazing people in our community, because we vet you and we make sure that you are a good fit. So in a lot of ways, it's like, yes, you're assessing whether we're a good fit for you. We're also assessing whether you're a good fit for us, because we do have primary concerns about keeping our organization and our community ticking at a certain level of integrity and expectation and all that kind of stuff. We want to make sure that you can get maximum value from what we're offering here. And if we don't feel that that's the case, we'll just let you know that, or they'll let you know that rather. And you have 30 days to try the system in the back office. So there is literally zero risk to you at all. So I would, the only question or answer that you might be asking yourself is, does this feel good to me? Does this align with where I want to be? Can I genuinely see that mastering these skills and being part of an organization, community like this is going to lead me towards the type of breakthroughs and lifestyle that I want? If the answer is yes to that, like as a feeling internally, my invitation then to you would be to go and get started. If you're a no to that, then great, we got that. And, thank you for joining us today and listening to this. And then you might be in like a third camp, which is like, yes, I want to do this, but, and you have like some kind of primary concern after that, but. I just want you to kind of like look for yourself internally if that but is something new. Like if it's like, but I don't have time, or but I don't have money, or but like whatever comes after that but. I want you to look if that but is like a new concern, or if that but kind of like shows up a lot in your life when you want to take on new things that you feel internally like, yeah, I'd really like to do that, but X, Y, and Z. I'm telling you that the people who get ahead and succeed in life are the people who lean into that but. They get it handled and they transform it so that but is no longer making decisions for them. I've worked with, like I said, thousands of people before. I remember there was a woman who was overweight, and when she would walk, like her thighs would rub together. And that woman wouldn't leave her house, go out and meet her friends, go out into social events, or have fun, because she was a yes, but my hips are too big. And those hips made the decision for everything in her life. Hips made decisions about the quality of her life. So whether it's money, time, or whatever other conversation you have, when we fly in the face of that but, magic happens in our life. And that's like the invitation today, is like, here's an opportunity to powerfully transform and deal with that but and transmute it so that you can start moving towards a life that you say that you want. And I really, if you're like letting that but run the show, notice how often it shows up and gets to decide for you about the quality of your life. And is that something that you're really willing to live with anymore? And like I said, there's not a lot of opportunities that I can look at. Actually, I don't know any outside of online business models that drastically and quite quickly, even if it's 3 years, I still consider that quite quickly, transform people's lives and the quality of financial, relational health and all the rest of it. So that's my little spiel to you. Any questions about anything here?
Nope, we got none.
Okay, Bresky, anything you want to add?
No, I just feel like whatever brought you here, trust that. Your voice, your head, your brain is going to get loud anytime it tries something new, anytime it goes into the unknown. I just did an interview today on our podcast. We have a podcast called the Have It All Podcast, and I interviewed a DJ who has had amazing success here in New York. And one of the things she said was, you have to be okay with sucking. And you have to go through that sucking process in order to be good at anything. And I just couldn't agree more. So just know that anytime you do something new, whether it's learning a language or an instrument or a sport or anything in life, you're going to be met with that kind of noise in your head. Realize that it's just that. Realize that it's noise, and just follow your heart and trust your heart, and it will always lead you to the right path. So if this is an absolute yes for you and you resonate with this, just listen to that. If it's not, then don't, and honor that. And we'd love to have you guys in the group, and love to show you what we've been up to for the last near 6 years and what's possible for you and your family.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Awesome,
and the last thing
guys.
I'll do is just one more thing. I just want to, if you have any questions, whether now or later on, you can email us. I'll put the email address in there too. Lifestyle entrepreneurs.co. Yeah, so you can email us at support@lifestyleentrepreneurs.co with any questions at all. And again, like the app link is down in there. So for those of you guys who are going to sign on board today, that's awesome. And we look forward to welcoming you into the community. Make sure you schedule that time with your business development coach. If you're a no, again, thank you for your time and for your listening. We appreciate it very much. And we look forward to hearing some awesome stories from those of you on here.
Awesome.
All right, guys, love you. And we'll be on here in a few weeks again. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.